Hey everybody, it's GoblinX and welcome back to Vintage Cube Newbie Tries His Best Not to O3. Without further ado, let's get into our pack one, pick one here. Grab a Demonic Tutor here out of black. This turns into whatever you need for 2 mana, so basically the best cantrip ever printed. Do you need a board wipe? Draw a board wipe for 2. Do you need direct removal? Draw direct removal for 2. Do you need a combo finisher? Draw that for 2. I like Demonic Tutor quite a bit. It's a very flexible card as long as we're playing just a little bit of black mana. It's splashable too. Seems like a solid way to start things off that can fit into a lot of decks, so I will roll with that. I am very unfamiliar with Powered Cube in general and a lot of these cards, so I don't know too much about the best picks other than that. I've heard a lot about Daze. That's really cheap interaction you can cast for free in a pinch, so that could be really good. Dark Confidant can draw a whole bunch of cards. Memory Lapse is more good. Counterspell style interaction, and of course the original duels are excellent fixing, but I'm going to go with Demonic Tutor here. Pick 2. We've got Flage for just being a really strong card in general. Pretty easy to play as well in terms of like skill necessary. Mana Confluence is very flexible fixing, although it does take a lot of life. The Triomes are super fetchable, so those are solid fixing as well. So I think the lands here are very reasonable. We've got a full-on Wrath of God board wipe if we want to go towards control. Emperor of Bones trying to do some Reanimator nonsense. Cast this, go to combat, exile a big creature from our grave, and adapt it for 2 and slam that thing in. Demonic Tutor is really helpful for more combo-y, specific kind of decks like Reanimator shells. So I feel like Emperor of Bones could be fun here. I'll go Emperor. Pick 3. More really flexible lands like Windswept Heath and Zyator's Proving Ground. But if we go towards Survival of the Fittest, we get to try to do like Golgari Reanimator stuff. This can let us discard our big creature we want to reanimate to tutor out Emperor of Bones to reanimate it. So I feel like Survival of the Fittest plus Emperor of Bones is a pretty sick combo, right? Discard the big creature, find the creature that reanimates the big creature, and we can do that all in one turn for 4 mana later. I mean, not the discard part, do that like during our opponent's end step, but then we untap, we go cast Emperor, move to combat, exile a big creature, and adapt for 2, so 4 mana total. Yeah, that seems good to me. This, like these 3 cards together is already just piecing together to being a really tutorable Reanimator combo. Now, Emperor of Bones is a temporary reanimation, so not quite as good as something that would keep it forever, but still really nice with Survival of the Fittest. And now we see Boros Aggro. Just an entire pack of Boros Aggro, none of which plays well on Reanimator, obviously. Tarmogoyf would be fine here, and honestly, with these 3 cards all synergizing so well, and me being very unexperienced or very inexperienced with this cube, it would be quite hard to get me to pivot. Just got such a package going immediately. Boros would be a simple, powerful, easy deck to play, so I mean, we could just jump onto that train seeing this. But we did play mono white in our first draft. I want to try this out. This looks like as good a time as any, having Emperor plus Survival together. Let's grab a Goyf. And pray here. The praying is not working. We see Boros Aggro and blue control. And that's it. Nothing for Golgari. Nothing for Reanimator in general. Well, this time we take a red aggro card, I guess. We could take Nadu and start trying to go like Sultai here. Also play some weird Nadu combos if we want. But after last pack, I would feel like red-white aggro stuff would be more open than blue control, so I would rather push onto that if I'm completely ditching this stuff. So it's like, ditch this towards aggro, or try to play a Nadu in this and go 3-color. Yeah, I'm going to speculate towards that aggro. We'll grab Rabble. Armina Can card. Okay, well, maybe it was just weird card distribution so far, because Archon of Cruelty is the perfect creature. Triggering when it enters or attacks, not when you cast it. It's when it enters or attacks, whether or not you cast it or not. That's really good with Emperor of Bones. So I have Survival, On like turn 3, I pass to them, discard Archon, tutor up Emperor of Bones, untap, turn 4, play the Emperor, exile the Archon, reanimate the Archon. This triggers, it now has haste, it attacks, triggers again. That's absolutely perfect here. Harvester of Misery is also quite good because it's a removal spell, and then you can reanimate it from grave because it discards itself. All right, awkward couple packs there earlier, but then Archon of Cruelty was a huge pickup for the Golgari Reanimator core that we're building right now. And now we have like really good value plays in general. Just a ton of stats for the cost with Chariot, tons of card draw with the Acolyte, Jadar's another like ton of stats for the cost kind of card. So a bunch of cards that are just like solid mid-rangey stuff that don't have anything to do with like our combo plan. That would all be perfectly reasonable to run, or we can just take a duel. I think all 4 of these are probably pretty reasonable. I'm just gonna go for the duel though. Try to play it just real combo-y. Birds of Paradise, perfect pickup. Lets us ramp into the combo early. Although Life and Death, 2 mana, return a creature from your grave to the battlefield. So it's just reanimate for 1 more mana. Birds of Paradise is such a good card for doing things early, but the more reanimation spells we have, the more consistently we can play towards that. They are very, very important to have tons of copies of to make that more combo-y kind of archetype more consistent. I'm going to take Life and Death over Birds of Paradise. It's a really hard pick, though. Birds might be better. I don't know. Very little experience. Let me know how you all feel. What would you pick in the comments below here? All right, well, we get a Noble Hierarch instead of Birds of Paradise. It's not quite as good, but it still ramps up the green mana. It's like a Llanowar Elves for us. It gives us that blue splash if we find a Nadu or something. Probably not a Yawgmoth deck. I feel like you don't play Yawgmoth and Reanimator. They feel like 2 very different strategies. Yawgmoth is like great in a deck that has a lot of little expendable creatures, but Reanimator is like a bunch of big haymaker creatures instead of little expendable ones. Indotha Triumph's a fetchable dual land. Gargoth isn't the worst reanimation target ever, but it's not particularly good. And then there's like Canker Bloom for just another, mid-rangey artifact enchantment removal spell kind of thing. I'm just going to get the fixing. Pick 11 Boseiju gives us a main deckable little Naturalize when we randomly need it. Again, more just decent cards for the cost that just don't have any specific crazy synergies with what we're doing right now. We'll just grab Boseiju, play it over a forest. There's all that red stuff going nice and late, but I'm committed now, having Emperor and Life Death. Grab a Razor Verge Thicket, and we now have 2 random cards towards white. Lewis is bad in Reanimator, but I'll take him anyway. Take Scavenging Ooze so that nobody else gets them. And then Eskus Chariot's fine. Good value for the cost. Might not be a combo piece or anything, but good card. Okay, we can reanimate a Vaultborn Tyrant. We can pillage the Bog for basically a second Demonic Tutor. It doesn't dig quite as deep. It doesn't look at the whole deck, but it can dig really far later in the game. Woodfall Primus is also probably a good reanimation target. And Green Sun Zenith is cute, but probably not crazy in this deck. I think it's Tyrant. I mean, Tyrant is real good with Emperor of Bones. Sack at the beginning of the next end step. Well, I guess because it comes back with a finality counter on it, it gets exiled in the end step, so the death trigger doesn't actually happen with Emperor of Bones. But this still feels like generally an incredible reanimation target. And like if we have an opener without a reanimation spell like Death, or like where we have the reanimation spell like Death or Reanimate and have to pay a bunch of life for it, the fact that this gains some of that life back is pretty sick. Tyrant just looks like a really, really good reanimation target. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope a Pillage wheels. There's also a piece of the Power 9. There's a Time Twister, but I'm Golgari. Here's Animate, Dead, and Reanimate. There's probably a clear better pick for those who are experienced with Cube, particularly with reanimation strategies, but I'm not sure which one it is. because I am not experienced with that stuff. I feel like it's Reanimate, because then any kind of random enchantment interaction is not going to deal with your threat. Also, it costs 1 mana instead of 2, which is pretty big. You do lose the life. There is a real cost to this, but I think Reanimate for efficiency is probably better. Hard pick, though. Pick number 3. Well, hard pick for me. Again, that is the kind of pick that would be like an example pick for people, for teaching people how to draft the archetype of like, which of these 2 cards is better. So I'm sure many of you know like the objective right choice there, but I certainly don't. I would love to hear, though. Dread Knight looks like just good value for this kind of deck. We do need like a certain amount of just random dirtly creatures for survival, probably. But I guess the dirtly creatures for survival are just going to be like the big ones. It's a fine Overlord deck. Overlord or like a really good value creature like Tracker or Dread Knight look good. Just a good looking pack all around. Some 6 Storm combo cards, Time Spiral, Memory Jar. As cool as Storm is, as much as I would love playing around with that, I am very, very confident I will 0-3 any draft I try to play Storm in. Atraxa! I know enough to know that is the reanimation target nowadays. I'm guessing Torsten is as well. It's just a big stupid 7-drop. Get all the creatures and lands. 7/1/1s when it dies. Yeah, I think we go Atraxa over that. Probably. Entomb, beautiful. If I'm not getting to put my reanimation targets in Grave with Survival of the Fittest, maybe I'll draw Entomb. I don't think Craterhoof's a very good reanimation target, because it needs a bunch of other creatures to actually, like, find the lethal. I feel like a lot of our games are going to be, like, Entomb into death with, like, one other creature on board. And then it's like, well, okay. I poke for, like, 10 damage, 7/7 Craterhoof and a 3/3 Llanowar Elves or something. So Inquisition or some good fixing like Talisman or Blooming Marsh. I'm going to go Inquisition here. That way we might be able to like Inquisition out a counter spell before we do our thing. Feels good to me. This feels like a deck where when things are going right, we do not need little talisman-y mana acceleration. Because we can reanimate for 2 with Death, or like 4 maximum with Emperor Bones, 1 with Reanimate. Grab a cut down here. Although Urza Saga is really good when you have a good 0 or 1 mana artifact, we just don't here. And we can't rely on getting one because they're really high picks for everybody. Mox's, Black Lotus, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, all that stuff. Can take a Marsh Flats. I'm going to try to double green towards Raphaelos. We're going to be pretty even on these colors. So the flats to be able to pull out a green-black dual land looks fine. We did see Dark Depths. I could take Thespian Stage and hope we get the Dark Depths and be Reanimation, but also I have Thespian Stage Dark Depths for fun. This is almost definitely the wrong pick, but I'm an idiot, and I'm going to take it. Because there's a chance we wheel a Dark Depths here. How good's Green Suns in this deck? I mean, our most important combo-y creature is a black creature, not a green creature. Green Suns just hits like Noble Hierarch or something. I'm just going to get another reanimation target. We wheel Animate Dead. This is the draft pod to try to do this, which I'm very happy with. Hymta Torok is also really good disruption, so that would be cool too. Crop Rotation. Hold on. I wish I remember exactly what pack had Dark Depths in it. Watch it have been in pack 1, and I'm just making things up right now. I'm going to take Crop Rotation, because if Dark Depths was like next pack and we wheel it, that would just be so sick. Woodland or Reanimation Target. We'll take Reanimation Target. Oh my god, we have Crop Rotation and Thespian Stage and Dark Depths. So we have Thespian Stage Dark Depths with a tutor of Crop Rotation and a tutor of Demonic Tutor. Oh, this deck is so cool. I don't need Behemoth. I have a bunch more reanimation targets that can win the game without other creatures on board. I also don't need the end stone, so I probably still should have taken Behemoth, but you know how it is. This is a good natural order deck too, especially if we get more 1-drop mana dorks. I wish I had a Birds of Paradise so bad. But if we can get Land Werewolves or Elvish Mystic, then now we can natural order into Atraxa, as well as reanimate. Oh, this is so cool. I'm so ready to just lose to interaction. We do scoop to like 1 counter spell, because then they play their stuff, and I'm like not playing any interaction of my own. So I'm gonna have fun losing this draft. Oh, there's Chrome Mox too. Cheese things out fast. Natural order is too cool. Deluge. So I don't auto scoop to Boros does feel like a thing, but we're also a multi-combo deck, so Wishclaw Talisman feels pretty big. This is like a demonic tutor that you only want to play in decks where you will like combo off and win the game the second you use this. We won't like literally win the game, but we can use this to get an indestructible 2020 flying lifelink. We can use this to reanimate an Atraxa. You know, like we can use this to do things that will almost definitely win us the game. So I feel like it's a pretty fine talisman deck. But at the same time, I'm still low on interaction. I have no board wipes. Also low on cheap green creatures for natural order. I'm going to go for the Deluge here. I'm going to get a board wipe in here. Not get steamrolled by aggro every time, especially in best of 3 where we can tutor it in at the right time. This cannot be reanimated, but it can be natural ordered, which is fun. But I think we have enough like good big stuff to reanimate. I would rather have all of our stuff be able to be reanimated or natural ordered, not one or the other. And World Spine Worm is just one or the other. So I'd rather take like Crabomination here, which I guess technically can't be natural ordered, but we have much more reanimation than we have natural order. There's 1 copy of natural order and like 3 different ways to reanimate. We have Animate Dead, we have Death, and we have Reanimate itself. So that's 3 ways. We also have a temporary reanimation from the Bone Lord guy. So we have 4 to reanimate. Six is probably better than Sentinel in this deck. Take 6. Damn. A little hard to cast, but still wouldn't mind more removal. It's that or the Cub. The Cub is entirely in here just because we can natural order it, though. It doesn't really do anything else. We might be low enough on green creatures we don't even try the natural order plan. Because again, I have got 4 reanimation spells. Could just do the regular reanimation plan over natural order. Go damn. Recurring Nightmare, ayo. Don't put me in these positions. I don't know what to do. There's 2 different mana dorks that will accelerate us into a natural order and then get sacked to the natural order. Or there's a 5th reanimation spell. This one also needs a creature on the board to use it, but... oh my god. I'm going to cut natural order. I'm going to go all in on reanimation. We'll get a 5th reanimator spell. No natural order here. Liliana is good for this deck. We can get rid of a giant creature from our hand.
And you think you can win?
Necromancy too? The Hex Mage for the Dark Depths! And a dual land for consistency? Why they gotta clump up? Why is the draft pod so good? I'm so stupid playing 2 combo decks in one, but whatever. I'm taking Hex Mage. More Dark Depthies. Here's Go for the Throat. For interaction. The Wishclaw Talisman Wield. I'm not taking Safekeeper. I'm not running Natural Order at this point. Not taking World Spine Worm because I'm not running Natural Order at this point. It shuffles in to stop it from getting reanimated. Probably don't play Sentinel. This is a tragedy because you can see that I had all of the tools to make the literal perfect Golgari Reanimator deck, but the tools that I don't have our experience and skills with the powered cube. An experienced drafter would have had a field day with this pod. Instead, we'll just have a pretty dang cool, pretty good deck instead of like unbeatable Reanimator. This is best of 3 though, which means any unlicensed hearse style graveyard interaction that our opponents have is gonna come in game 2 and 3. But we are a multifaceted deck here. We have 2 different combos we can win off of. We can win off of Dark Depths in multiple ways as well, because we've got multiple ways to tutor stuff. We've Crop Rotation and Demonic Tutor. Towards that combo, we can Dark Depths with Thespian Stage, or we can Dark Depths with Hex Mage. Speaking of Dark Depthsing towards Hex Mage, if that's the thing and we have the Dark Depths in hand, we can Survival of the Fittest for the Hex Mage. So there's a lot of ways to make it a little more consistent of a combo. This deck is too good. And I'm going to have more fun losing with this deck than I think I did winning with our last one. If this ends up being like a losing run. Which is quite likely for all these cubes for a while. I have no idea how I'm supposed to cut this thing down. What if I cut everything and then just put in the essentials from there? What if I start with everything in the side? Is that a simpler way to do things? When everything's so good like it is in Cube. Okay. Let's say I opened this sealed pool. What do I do with it? Entomb. Reanimate. Animate Dead. Survival of the Fittest. Another Entomb style card for the reanimation options. Demonic Tutor is another tutor to find what we need. Crop Rotation is a tutor for Dark Depths or Thespian Stage to pop that combo off. Talisman, another tutor to pop any of those combos off. Hex Mage for the Dark Depths combo. Dark Depths for the Dark Depths combo, and Thespian Stage for the Dark Depths combo. Death is another reanimation spell. Recurring Nightmare is another reanimation spell. This one does require us to have a creature on the board. So we will want to have some cheap creatures. Definitely don't want to have 0. So we have Entomb can get a big creature in the grave. Survival can discard cards to have big creatures in grave. Nothing else we have in the deck right now puts creatures in grave. I like Liliana as a way to discard those big creatures. Overlord is a way to mill those big creatures. We do really need them to not get trapped in our hand to make sure we have ways to randomly mill them or discard them. So I think I am basically required to run Liliana and Overlord so that I'm not 100% relying on Entomb and Survival. So we'll run those, definitely. Then, so these are getting things into the grave. These are tutoring them out. This is Dark Depths combo, this is Reanimator. Now we need some amount of creatures to reanimate. Feel like with the amount of tutory stuff that we have, we probably shouldn't run a massive amount of reanimation targets because they're very bad if we just draw them. So just put the absolute best reanimation targets. It's definitely Atraxa, Archon. Probably want 4 of them in here, 4 or 5. I kind of want to go with Atraxa, Archon, Tyrant, Crabomination, and Primus. Do not run Torsten. 5 might still be like a tiny bit overkill, but I'm not sure. I'm going to run just these 5. I'm not going to run over that, that's for sure. Is it running 17 lands right now? All right, awesome. So we've got 17 lands in here. We still have room for 6 more cards, which is where we run some ramp and interaction, wanting that ramp to be creature-based so that we can sack them to Recurring Nightmare. So Noble Hierarch, Sylvan Caryatid. Those are definitely getting run. Inquisition is great cheap interaction to stop our opponent from having the counter immediately. And then like go for the throat, cut down to not die. Oh, we need Emperor Bones in here too. Another reanimation spell. Well, now this is says 6 different reanimation spells. Do I actually cut Recurring Nightmare? It's the least consistent of all of our reanimation spells. Got 4 other ways to reanimate things, and I have ways to tutor out the ways to reanimate things. Maybe. Recurring Nightmare is like particularly rude with Primus specifically, with Persist. Sack the little thing to get back Primus, next turn sack the Primus to get back something else and also persist it. It's kind of cool in theory. Okay, do we have... So our interaction right now is 1 copy of Inquisition of Kozilek. That's our interaction. I'm going to put Dark Depths here with the Vampire Hexmage because it does not tap for mana. So it doesn't really count as a land, it's more a combo piece. So we're actually like a 16 lander. Technically. So this is just the Depths combo. This is just ramp. 1 piece of interaction. 4 ways to reanimate, 4 ways to put things in grave, and 5 things to get back. I have room for 2 more cards in this deck if I want to run 16 lands in it. About 1 discard spell in here. I kind of want to play like a 1 of board wipe and a 1 of removal spell then, like play a deluge and play a cut down or go for the throat. I'm going to go for the throat because I have played against a bunch of, again, reanimatory style things, but it's going to have a gigantic thing out real early that gets through a cut down. Okay, so add that to the interaction pile. And then we can maybe cut Recurring Nightmare or a 5th reanimation target to put a little more interaction or cheaper creatures into the deck. Because if we run it like this and look at the mana curve... Okay. Surprisingly fine. Surprisingly fine. I was going to say, if we run it like this and look at the mana curve, it's probably going to be pretty clunky to where we need to cut another big thing. But, you know, I feel like we could just run it like this, but I doubt it's the best build. Obviously, we're going to change the mana base. That's number 1, but I'm just concerned about what spells we're running here, what we would want to change around. I think with like a secondary endgame win con, probably don't need a super, super high amount of these reanimation finishers, so we just cut the weakest of these to play another slightly more cheap card to have more going on in the mid-range. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like 4 cards that I can sacrifice for Recurring Nightmare is very low. I do quite want to cut Recurring Nightmare. I'm going to cut Recurring Nightmare and I'm going to run the 6 for a mid-rangey creature. I think that's where I want to call it a deck. Because if we run 6 as a mid-rangey creature, this has pretty good synergy with the deck, where it mills cards over to try to find one of the big reanimation targets, but it also mills cards over towards the Dark Depths combo. If this mills into Depths or Stage, we get to draw them into our hand with 6. Yeah, if they don't have the interaction for 6, it's actually really good in this deck. Because we could mill over, like, Reanimate and an 8-drop, and then just retrace Reanimate to reanimate the 8-drop. Okay, yeah, no, 6 looks really good in this strategy. Should it live? Okay, I'm going to call it there for the starting point. I'll probably do a good chunk of sideboarding, maybe change the deck between rounds as I get a little bit more experience with this, a little bit more confident with it. Because again, I'm really not sure the exact way we want to run this. But I like running it like this here. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be running Wishclaw Talisman because I'm trying to think of like how it really is going to play out for us. No, it's probably good with the Reanimator stuff. I feel like trying to Wishclaw into Depths combo is probably pretty bad. Right, because I like Wishclaw during their end step so that I get to untap with all my mana and like do the depth combo and get a Merit Lage. But then it's like I've got a Merit Lage on board and they'll just talisman into Swords to Plowshares or something. And like that's pretty awful. But if I talisman into like reanimating something with multiple triggers, it's pretty good. If I talisman into getting Woodfall Primus, actually, it's a reanimating Woodfall Primus. I blow up the talisman. But that's not exactly how it works, right? I can't talisman to put Primus in my grave. But if I have it in grave already, I can talisman to put reanimate in hand. Yeah, I'm unsure about the talisman as well, but I don't know. I could deliberate forever, but we got to run something here to get some practice in and try this thing out. So I'm going to call it a deck here. We'll just make sure to get that mana base fixed and then hop into the gameplay and see how far this one can take us. Here we are on the play for game number 1. I got to draw black mana, but that's survival of the fittest. Animate dead. That's awkward, but I'm keeping. And really hoping. Library of Alexandria, turn 1. Uh-oh. We can survival of the fittest into some green mana dorks. So even if I top deck a forest, I could go survival into the Caryatid, which can then tap for black to get me there. If I don't draw any land here, then I could only survival into Noble Hierarch, which doesn't tap for black either. Crop rotation would do it. Although I'd have to give up on Dark Depths, which is probably the right play. What do I actually pick up here? Because I could go crop rotation into Inquisition then as the play for now, and then just animate dead next turn still. I could pick up Primus so that I could reanimate it. I could go discard Primus, then animate dead and blow up their library. Blow up their forest, actually, because library doesn't tap for mana. Does it tap for mana? Okay, that's filthy. Yeah, blow up library. Maybe blow up more lands. Or I just pick Atraxa. It's a lot of reanimation targets I could choose. I could pick up Hexmage and then crop rotation, but I don't have double black. I'm gonna go Primus there. Crop rotation black. Going too slow. Cube is hard. I'm sorry, Rope. Everybody in the comments is pooping themselves. They have 6 in Malevolent Rumble, and they're a Field of the Dead deck. Oh, they're a slow deck? Alright, they're dead. Get rid of 6, because it's very good when they fill their grave with all that stuff. Could get rid of the Rumble because it gives them the spawn, but I think whatever I pick, I'm going to be fine here. They have no interaction. Well, no, they could Besage the Animate Dead. Okay, I didn't hit the land here. That's okay, I can Kabramanam. Did not hit the land here to go Primus. But yeah, Kabramanam makes sure I leave something on this board. Rough that 6 is the best card, but 6 does play really well in my deck. So now they Besage Carbomination, and that gives me another mana back, which is huge. I can survival the fittest now towards my Emperor of Bones, since I'm going to get more mana here. Or they can let me keep the crab. Ooh, Vampire Hexmage. Interesting. Very interesting. Can't attack through the beast with 6 now. But I could still draw towards lands with it and maybe get the Dark Depths, which is fun. Survival can only hit One black mana spell if I want to cast something immediately. Kind of feel like I have to Overlord. Yeah, I'm not loving the lack of land draws on this. This is hard to play. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna play Overlord. Land. 6. I guess I can play this 6. I need a land badly, so I need to attack here to pick up a land. Yeah, I guess now that 6 can die so that I can play the next 6 and more importantly get a land. I could get aggroed out by Bombardier's Questing Beast because that could shoot me for 4 off the boast, right? 6? Okay. It's 3 mana to play this and activate it in the same turn. So for 5 mana, I could get a Dark Depths and Hexmage it. But I'd also need my land draw for turn unused. Do I have any creatures that interact with the board on entering? With Survival of the Fittest? No, I only have Emperor Bones for survival. So we're setting up Emperor Bones for next turn, but I don't have the mana to do it now. Which means I need a green untapped. I have to play Hexmage as a blocker. Could actually Hexmage and unlock Overlord, which is kind of cute. Okay, I'm gonna play Hexmage and hold up Survival. Cube is insane, man. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm trying. I'm trying, though. Actually don't have anything in my grave for the Emperor of Bones right now. Oh, they got the Soul Ring in their pod. I'm still 0 for 0 on Mox's, Soul Rings, Lotuses. They're gonna pass through. Fair. Okay, I mean, I guess I'm discarding Archon for Emperor. Or I could pick up Primus to keep them off Craterhoof, because that would kill me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I won't keep them off Craterhoof, though, unless I blow up Soul Ring. 6. They play the 7th land and still don't have Craterhoof. No, they have it off spawn. I'm gonna get Craterhoofed. No, when it enters or attacks, they discard. They would discard twice. That's not discard 3. I don't think I can not get Craterhoofed here. If I had 1 more mana, I could actually do this twice off Hexmage. Oh, they scoop! I don't think that's lethal. I don't think that actually wins, does it? Oh, they also have to sack. So they'd have to sack Beast and Bombardiers. Okay, no, that does win. That does win. Because they wouldn't have enough creatures for Craterhoof to kill me. even if they discard the 2 lands to keep the Crater Hoof. Ooh, this deck is so consistent, which is what I was talking about, where like I have no idea what I'm doing, because it's like we had the tools here. We could have chosen to reanimate basically any creature in our whole deck. And we could have chosen to tutor into getting the Merit Lage, getting the Dark Depths. Like, we literally could have done whatever we wanted just over the course of several turns to get there, but still. Oh my god. Not a great showing in terms of how well I played, but man, an incredible showing for the deck. So they're like a slow, very multicolored rampy deck trying to get to like a big Crater Hoof style. So they're like green base, like ramping the big goodies. They've got some bangers like Library to draw a million cards, Soul Ring to ramp fast. I didn't really see much to cut down. I guess I could cut down on Bombardiers. But it doesn't look like a board wipe matchup really. Or a Scoos matchup. I think I'm just gonna run it back. Yeah, I'll run it back. Okay, certainly no Reanimator kill in the opening hand, but again, Survival can pick up the Emperor, which is huge. Now we also have crop rotation towards the Dark Depths path. I can crop rotation for Dark Depths and Survival of the Fittest for Vampire Hexmage. Or I can top deck Vampire Hexmage. I don't have the double black to cast it right now. Crop rotation is a single green. I need to play tap land if I want to play Hexmage next turn, which I think I do want to do. I don't think we crop rotation until Hexmage is on board. And I suppose I could crop rotation. No, I still won't have triple black next turn. I was going to say I could crop rotation now so that I could go Inquisition plus Hexmage next turn, but I can't without triple black, so. Okay, they're playing pretty aggressive, but if they don't have interaction for the token, I do think we outrace them. Hexmage. Pass. Chump and crack the Dark Depths. Hellrider. Well, if I don't die here, I win. I think. I don't think they can for double green stop the thing. Let's find out. Find out if they have lethal here. I guess they get the multiple treasures, so they might. I could have still waited till my end step because the first strike, so I should have still waited. That was a misplay. 1 life? 1 life and we Dark Depths them? I take back anything bad I ever said about Cube. This is the greatest format of all time. Oh, that can't be keepable, can it? We cross our fingers to top deck a way to discard these, like Liliana, or Survival of the Fittest, or Dark Depths. That's like 3 cards total. There's 1 Dark Depths, 1 Liliana, 1 Survival. But there's also like 3 different tutors that would work to get one of those things. It feels like a really bad idea to keep this. But I really want to, because this is probably why I'm going to be bad at this kind of deck, is because like I see this hand that's like a card away from like, oops, I win. And I want to keep it. When our deck's consistent enough, we probably have openers that are literally just the full combo more often. I'm gonna mull. It could go so wrong. See, here's the full combo. Actually, it is still one draw from the win, but this time we have like 5 draws it could be because we have the 5 big reanimation targets to discard to survival, and there's one Abomination. Not only that, but it's also a little safer in the fact that it has Toxic Deluge if our opponent is aggro. So this is actually way better than our first hand. Sadly, looks like they are a blue deck, so they could just counter a reanimate next turn. I think I run out Survival of the Fittest while they are tapped out there. They play a Nia, which exiles 1, which is a Dak Faden. Play land for turn. They tap out. Our artifacts and creatures enter tapped now. But we could still do the thing. Card from their graveyard, not ours. Do I discard this Atraxa? I think I discard this Atraxa to get the Emperor of Bones. And now I have another way to reanimate again. And then I reanimate. Atraxa. If I don't die this turn, then I lifelink and win. Land, Planeswalker, instant creature, sorcery. Discard. X-Mage. Caryatid. For things I can just immediately cast for value. I can just go land Emperor Bones. I probably was supposed to get Abomination there because it could give me... Well, it couldn't give me blockers because all my stuff comes tapped. Yeah, I guess it's pretty close then between the two. I'd take 1 less damage initially. I get a 6-drop instead of a 7. But I could hit like a removal spell out of their hand if I hit Abomination first. This will get me a lifelink swing sooner if they can't deal with Atraxa. But Emperor being able to give immediate haste would have meant a lifelink swing against any sorcery speed interaction. Actually, no, that would be only if I killed Makti and Itla. Maybe I was supposed to just Deluge. Just to get rid of the tapping going on here, because the tapping is bad for me, that's for sure.
They'll never know what hit.
It's quite bad for me. Draw 2, discard 2. They're looking for like Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile. They got that 1 white mana up. Split Skin Doll, draw a card. They don't find anything to deal with Atraxa, so we will be at plenty life here. They know we have the Go for the Throat to kill their flying blocker and then kill Dak. There's not a lot they can do about it. Pretty sure that's the play here. Over reanimating somebody that just comes in tapped anyway with Emperor of Bones. Because I'm about to gain 7, I could also just Deluge for 2. I guess I'd only gain 5. So I Deluge for 2, I'm down to 9. Then I hit Dak and gain 5. Go to 14. I have Inquisition up. So I can Inquisition first and still do my other stuff. Be it Go for the Throat or Deluge. They have Brain Freeze. That could combo kill me with the right card, right? I don't think I really care about these other two because they don't have flying or reach. So I'll just hit Brain Freeze, I guess. And then, yeah, I could just Deluge for 2 because none of that has haste. So I can Deluge for 2 and then gain back 5, killing Dak. And now I know all my stuff comes in untapped again for the Emperor Bones kill. And there's Concession. Okay. Again, probably not the right way to play it, but I'm trying. I'm learning. The Sec's incredible, though. It could probably be even better with a slightly different build or a slightly different draft, but I think I did pretty good for being this new to the Vintage Cube, the Powered Cube. I mean, this was the Magical Christmas Land draft pod. Like, it was just wide open. Nobody was doing this kind of Reanimator stuff at all. We got, like, every reanimation spell in the cube. And that early Survival of the Fittest has ended up being so sick in this deck. We even could have done natural order things. It's just been awesome. I'm just gushing. I'm not even, like, trying to figure out what I should be sideboarding right now. I'm just too happy with this deck. So they're like Jeskai, some kind of aggro build. They might have like Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach style combo, I think is a thing. What is it? Like Breach, Brain Freeze, and Lion's Eye Diamond or something goes infinite, mills your opponent's entire deck. They could have something like that in there that we might randomly get got by. I don't think we have anything we can play to counteract that. We have Scoos. Very hypocritically, we have Scavenging Ooze in our pile of cards here. Yeah, I can toy around with the Scavenging Ooze over the Wishclaw Talisman, because again, we saw one piece of like a multi-card combo that could kill us. I don't really want to let them get a combo piece, so I'll play a Scoos. Sure, we'll try that. We are now 1-0 in round 2, heading into game 2 of round 2. If they Lightning Bolts my Noble Hierarch, I concede. This feels like a mulligan again, but I love the cards. I think I like this deck too much, and it's going to force me to make bad mulligans. I want to go Hierarch into Caryatid no matter what I draw, as long as they don't kill Hierarch. But then even if I do that, if Overlord doesn't mill something good, I still don't get to reanimate anything with death. I don't have a way in this hand to discard Archon or Tyrant. This has got to be a mulligan. Okay, this is safer, which probably translates to this is better, but I'm still sad about it. It's definitely slower. Even if it draws perfectly, it plays slower. I guess that's not entirely true. I could have top-decked Entomb. I top-decked Demonic Tutor, though, so I can just Demonic Tutor Entomb. They've got blue mana up, though. Yeah, if they got it, they got it. We get to resolve 6, and then have that mill the card for death. Like, if I play around this counter now, and then I get towards the reanimation, then they just end up countering the reanimation spell. Either way, that's going to get me at some point. So just make them use it ASAP. Start getting 6 value. Oh no, they got Black Lotus! I'm jealous. Black Lotus to Fairy. Man.
Sorry, I'm late. Hurry.
That's okay. I don't even need Black Lotus. This does not look like a good matchup this game. It looked perfectly fine game 1. Alright, I expect a counter again. I'd rather they counter 6 than survival. Game 1, they were like pretty creature heavy, so I was like, just Jeskai aggro-y stuff we'd be fine against. But like Jeskai control with a lot of counters? Counter spells are very good against this deck. Man, yeah, Teferi's so good here because it's like if they have the counter in hand, They don't have to counter 6 because they can Teferi minus. Which means like either way I do it, survival's gonna get got. Maybe they'll tap out for something else here. They do! They reveal that they do not have the counter. Love to see it. I will be 1 mana off from using death here. But that's okay. It can wait. It can wait a turn. So I survival to get the card engrave for death. But what creature do I pick up with it then? It doesn't matter. I don't have a cheap enough black creature to cast. Yeah, I don't have a 1 mana black creature. So tutor for like Overlord of the Baelmerk, because I could hard cast that soon. That might be the pick. Or I could tutor for 6 again. I'm probably supposed to do that during my turn because there are ways to counter an activated ability.
You know what? I'm not done.
Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm supposed to tutor for Emperor Bones. Because I have multiple big things to reanimate. I should just pick up another reanimation spell. I don't know why that took so long to figure out. It's definitely tutor for Emperor Bones. Stoneforge Misket. Misket? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. They're tapped out. So we know whatever we do here resolves. Probably Emperor of Bones. 4/4 haste swing attracts it to kill Teferi while drawing 1,000,000 and gaining 7. I can Primus, kill Teferi, and then attack them for 6 with trample, but I would rather, I think, gain a bunch of life, kill Teferi, and draw a bunch in the same turn because they don't have the flying blocker or reach here. We need Emperor of Bones. Man, Survival of the Fittest Emperor of Bones is so good. Oh right, they have Teferi on board. They aren't tapped out. And they never will be tapped out. Okay. So in that case, I probably have to try to cast Death, because Emperor of Bones can get countered, or they can removal spell in response to me trying to adapt it. Death can only be countered. They can't use a removal spell on Death. Like a Lightning Bolt or Swords to Plowshares doesn't work. I guess they're tapped out or red, but Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile cannot stop Death, but it can stop Emperor. Suppose I should have ditched Primus then. I mean, I could ditch it now. They've already played Mana Leak, so it couldn't be countered unless I pay 3. It could be countered unless I pay 2. I have the mana to do that. To ditch Primus, pick up Primus, and still pay the 2. So that's probably the play. If it's Miscalculation or Spell Pierce. For days. Just find another big reanimation target, probably. I have 5 mana out now, though, so this could genuinely be Overlord. Yeah, I'll pick up Overlord. And then we try to do Death, with 2 up to pay for Miscalculation, 2 up to pay for Daze, Spell Pierce. Let's go. Get out of my life to Fairy. We can also blow up their blue source. Really hard not to just blow up Teferi, though. Suppose I could impending this. That's probably fine. Because next turn just Emperor plus activate, we're not going to have any mana left for Overlord. Archon or Atraxa to hand? Archon to hand. Atraxa to reanimate. I guess I'm allowed to leave them in the grave, but 5 out of 8 mana. No exile. No exile. No exile. You know what I haven't seen in this cube? Is there no Splinter Twin? There's no Splinter Twin Kiki Jiki? Pestermite? That I'm just realizing? I don't think there's Splinter Twin combo or Kiki Jiki combo in this cube. There's Reflection of Kiki Jiki, but I haven't seen a copy of Kiki Jiki. Interesting. That's one of the things that I've heard about in cubes in general, is like Splinter Twin combo as a route. But apparently not this one. Maybe that's fallen out of favor lately in vintage cubes. It could be a season to taste kind of thing. Okay, 6 out of 8 for Archon now. Okay, Emperor's probably getting killed by something here, but we still gotta try. So they respond to either one of these abilities and they would counter it and I don't get anybody back. Oh my god, they just don't have the interaction. Sicko mode. Animate dead, yes. Liliana, yes. Thespian stage, yes. And then which creature? I'll have the 7 mana, so just hardcast a Tyrant, sure. Boop and gain 7. If they had instant speed removal that could kill Atraxa, they would have killed Emperor with it. So I believe... I still think it might be a little bold to attack with Primus. They could have something that specifically like kills an attacker. I'm not sure if there's something like that in the cube, but probably. I can survival. I probably should have survival for Noble Hierarch there. Yeah, I should have. I should have gotten Hierarch on the board, because I should be surviving to discard something for Animate Dead. Anyway, so rather than do it at instant speed during their turn, if I do it sorcery during mine, I can play my 1-drop creature off it. That was loose. RNG the Planeswalker. Roll a die and see if you win. 1, so they get 2 1/1s with haste. That's 17, that's not horrific. That's a +2 ability though, so then if they get to the deal damage equal to loyalty, that'll be really scary. Okay, I want to gain life, but either one of these gains life. Sacks a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3. Or I draw a card, and I get triggers off of any future ones I use this on. And I have the mana to hardcast this, but not this yet, so I'll go Archon. Four, 5, 6, 7 mana. Can play a 5-drop and do the thing. I could Hexmage kill their Comet. Yeah. Seems fine. Since I have the Thespian Sage anyway, I definitely don't need Hex Mage for Dark Depths. So they sack a squirrel here. I gain 3, they lose 3 and discard. We draw. Hexmage Comet. Pass. No creatures in grave, so I'll just exile to Fairy or something. I think it's generally easier to recast instants and sorceries from grave than like pick up planeswalkers, so maybe I should have just hit their best instant or sorcery, which I guess is only Mana Leak. I guess I could have hit the Lotus. There are some ways to combo with Lotus out of the grave. I don't know how many are in the cube, but I know there's ways to do it. Luris is one of them. It's not an infinite combo or anything, but it's a pretty good one. Dak Faden. No good artifacts for them, luckily. Thank goodness Golgari doesn't do a lot of that. See, I specifically chose not to open any Soul Rings or Moxes, just so that we'd be a better deck against Dak Faden, who was a 5-head move the whole time. Ooh, it's Green Mox. We probably already saw that game one. We got Lotus and Emerald. Probably supposed to be using survival here, but I'm too stupid to know for what. Okay. Abomination would be the best way to randomly find lethal with some nonsense, so let's just play that and see what happens. This would get rid of their whole hand if they can't kill Archon here. Okay, they can kill Archon. Fair enough. Worth noting, Hexmage can remove the Emperor of Bone counters to let us adapt it again. If that ever ends up being relevant. Okay, that's not going to deal combat damage to a player with how many creatures they have. We're probably on a 3/3 flyer, honestly. If I pick the 2/2 flyer, then they're going to get it in their grave eventually. So we just take a 3/3 flyer. Alright. Oh my god, wait. One or more +1/+1 counters are put on this creature. So map tokens with Emperor Bones can get more reanimations if we get more creatures underneath it. Those are temporary reanimations, though. I don't think I want to temporarily reanimate Vaultborn Tyrant right now, but I could discard it and try to do that. Oh, there's Archon in grave. So I can try to get Archon back. Archon is fine for a temporary. Okay, that's a land, so it doesn't work. Come on, come on. Goblet needs a non-land card. Goblet gets a non-land card. Let's go. Oh, it wasn't exiled yet. I had to do it next turn. Oh, I'm dumb. I did it wrong. That's the wrong order. Alright, well. I forgot. I forgot how it works. Ah, that's embarrassing. I got the two mixed up. You exile with the combat trigger, you reanimate with the counter trigger. Big oops. That was a pretty huge punt, because the reanimation swing with that would be really good next turn. Doesn't mean it would not be possible that turn, but
I overheard
would be very, very good
gossip.
next turn using those maps. We might have a wide enough board state now that I'm supposed to be jamming with Primus there. Especially with the map tokens before I punted the map tokens away. Because if Primus gets a -1/-1 and then we put a +1/+1 counter on it, it will persist yet again in the future. So yeah, we're just sitting here giving them more and more time to potentially draw into the brain freeze and mill us out. So it's not like we're so far ahead that it's meaningless that I'm punting like this. Like, they could brain freeze now. Abomination's also pretty good. Luckily, we got a pretty bad card on top of our deck for it. What were the exiles for them? Caryatid. Liliana? Caryatid, Liliana, and something else. Liliana's pretty good. They can Liliana make us sack a card. It might be their best play. We sack Subtlety. Yeah. So kill Subtlety.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win.
We might be low enough on threats now we need to draw into Dark Depths. But I haven't drawn Crop Rotation either, so there's two instant kills there. Oh, they make us discard. 5, 6, 7, 8. If I discard Cottage, I could play Tyrant and Crop Rotation. Same turn. But let's see, 1, 5, 6. I could do that even with a tap land for the turn. Okay, we're fine. To keep Cottage. Scavenging Ooze. Well, I can't play Ooze in Tyrant. Actually, not a lot of creatures for it to eat at this rate. Yeah, I just play Tyrant. With the green up for Crop Rotation. Oh, hello. Don't have the mana for the instant activate or anything. Keep Dak off ultimate?
Nope, 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 nope.
Okay, card draw engine with Staff of the Storyteller. Draws 1 right now and 1 every time they play another token. How many lands are in their deck? Okay, they did mill a couple. Discard a couple, I should say.
Don't overthink things.
Merit Lage does not have trample. So that's a chumper. Maybe we can get them to chump Subtlety if I wait to Crop Rotation. I think we've drawn all of our reanimation targets to where it doesn't matter if we wait here. We don't need to use this mana right now. Yeah, the most expensive card left in our deck is 3 mana. So we can definitely wait.
Information's almost as good as money.
Yeah, Dak has exactly the power and toughness they might chump. Subtlety. Or not power and toughness, the exact loyalty amount that they might chump the subtlety to keep them around. Oh, the Nettle Cyst is cheap enough to move. God dang it. Yeah, that's not gonna work then. Sure. Tyrant and Primus come back. I should have ordered that the other way. Kind of want to blow up Dak because Dak could hit Brain Freeze. Just blow up Liliana. I can just kill them with these two.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Crop rotation, Thespian stage cost me 3. Yeah, I can still crop rotation Thespian stage. Okay, again, I think I did that wrong. It actually probably was kill Dak, because I think the only way I die is Brain Freeze. If Liliana stays and they kill everything on my board, they still die to Merit Lage. Yeah, I should have Primus Dak. And then also the order different. Maybe not. I mean, we have all of the tools to super win, so drawing one less card makes me a tiny bit less likely to die to Brain Freeze. Potentially. Watch us have already exiled Brain Freeze this game somehow and just forgot. Okay, draw 2, discard 2.
A little looting never hurts.
They only have 5 mana, so they only have 5 mana and they'll have 2 cards in hand. So like they could play a spell and then a Brain Freeze and then I would mill 6 and then win. It would have to be a 1 mana draw spell and a Brain Freeze and they draw into another 1 or 2 mana spell. In fact, if I crop rotation and then they have a cheap enough instant, crop rotation is storm count 1. They play a cheap instant for storm count 2. Number 3, they Brain Freeze and kill me. If it's double instant. And Brain Freeze is in there. But Brain Freeze could also be in the bottom 9. And just getting the Merit Lage plays a lot better if it's just a removal spell. Because then they just remove the 20/20 and die to the rest. Okay. Please not Brain Freeze. Not instant and Brain Freeze. That's all I need. Oh, it's not a May ability to draw the card. Please not multiple removals. Oh my god, it is. They exile the 20/20. I gain 20, but they still have Brain Freeze as an out. And they gain 3 off of this block to not take lethal. Oh my god. They're at 1? Do I have a way to make them lose life off of a retrace here? Does any of this ping for 1? I could kill Dak. I could reanimate. So I can get something from their grave. Anything in their grave ping for 1? Nothing in their grave pings for 1 either. So I go 6 Hex Mage and kill Dak. I guess that's the safest. Might be missing something, but I think we kill Dak. I don't see a way to do 1 here.
Too much heat. I'm out.
6 cards left, so if they go Spell Brain Freeze, they got it. Six is a mill 3 period. I'm not doing that. Okay. Oh. So they need, the reason I didn't attack with 6 here is they need double removal to survive, or removal that gains life. So they need to go kill that, and then they would survive at 4 life. If I attacked all 3, their out is the same. Kill that, take 2, they're still at 2, except that now I've milled myself 3, so they don't even have to storm count with the Brain Freeze to kill me. So I think this is the right attack there, pretty objectively. At that point. Stressful. But that is another 2-0 round. A very long, hard-fought one. That probably should have been a lot easier, but hey, we are completely undefeated. 2-0, 4-0, heading into round number 3, the final match. See if we can't get a trophy run on our second traditional powered cube draft ever. That would be absolutely sick, but we'll see how it all ends up as we head into round number 3. All right, here we are on the draw for round number 3. That means we'll be on the draw for 2 of these games if it is a 3-game round. Tragic. This is an unkeepable opener. We cannot keep 1-landers as strong as this could be. Gotta take that mulligan. This is also a 1-lander. But it has Entomb turn 1, Tutor turn 2 for Reanimator or something. I still can't keep it, can I? Like, I know I get to try to reanimate something, but if they're blue, it's just gonna fall apart. The other option is a 5-card hand, which is such risk. I'm gonna go to 5. This is a brutal start here. I'm not going below 5. We just hope their aggro and Deluge can do something. Honestly, might ditch Hierarch. So we've got something to reanimate if we hit like Liliana to discard it. Yeah. Now I know I can Deluge no matter what. Some really bad openers this final match. We see a Plains, not an island, so maybe the 6-card hand would have been our best bet. Although Plains could mean something aggressive where this Deluge goes a really long way as well. Deluge gets around Giver of Runes. Yeah, if they go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, we probably end up at like 10 life, but then kill everything. Cannot choose a Traxxar, we won't be able to discard her to Reanimator. Just go tap Swamp. Yeah, Deluge could do something here. I mean, they'll draw 1 off Sentinel, because they can't wait till turn 4 to play this Deluge on the draw. But it could do something. Demonic Tutor? Alright, so much for... Well, I can wait to tutor till post Deluge, because what do I even tutor for here? We tutor for survival of the fittest. Probably. Because then I Deluge next turn. Turn 4, I'd still only have 1 green if I don't draw perfectly, but then I could You know, eventually survival, discard Atraxa, pick up the way to Reanimator. I think I just want to give them one less card here and just not tutor yet. Because if I'm going to tutor for survival, then on turn 4 I can tutor survival and play it. Or, if I'm still under pressure, I can instead like tutor Go for the Throat and play Go for the Throat. Gives me the option by waiting longer, and it gives them less cards off of Esper Sentinel. So it gives them less to reestablish after a deluge. Yeah, so they're going to have 2 cards in hand. We're going to be quite low, because we got to pay 4 because of how sturdy Adeline is. All right. They got 2 cards, but we got tutor for Go for the Throat if necessary. If not necessary, we tutor Survival of the Fittest, play Survival of the Fittest. Next turn, activate Survival to pick up the Bone Guy, play and activate the Bone Guy. Okay, they have a single Magna. Oh, I could Inquisition them, but then I can't play Survival now. And if I don't play Survival now, I can't activate Survival next turn. I need all 5 of my mana next turn to do that. And Dark Depths doesn't actually give me mana, so if I tutor Survival of the Fittest now and don't draw an untapped land next turn, I can't activate plus Reanimate next turn anyway. So I actually Inquisition here. I think that feels great. I have the Dark Depths. I could tutor for Thespian Stage instead now as the plan. Especially if I Inquisition and get rid of any removal, or if they don't have removal. They have Plains. Okay, so I should have gone Survival, but I guess I go Thespian Stage and play it as a land per turn, and next turn activate Depths and kill them if they don't top deck removal. Okay, we got our plan. They have 2 turns to hit something that can kill a 20/20 flyer, or they're dead. They're playing off the top for it. Flicker Wisp does not do it. It would chump block, which gives them 1 more turn to do it. Actually, Flicker Wisp would have done it. Just can exile the token. But because they cast it, it doesn't do it. Comet. Okay, Comet doesn't do it, but again, Flicker Wisp can trump. Oh god, the damage to me is pretty bad. If they try to get lethal though, I just get a 20/20 and live. But now I could just die in 2 turns, because they can trump with Flicker Wisp. I think they might have got us with Flicker Wisp here. We're supposed to go the Reanimation route over the Dark Depths route. Yeah, I mean, because Comet like really sets up a 2-turn kill. I still think I have to play the dude. Okay. I can't attack though. I mean, I force the chump, but then if Comet rolls well, I die. I die on a 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. Comet's just kind of insane. I think I just die, period. If I pass, I also just die to a 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no, if they get 4 or 5... Yeah, they do the damage first and then -2? Yeah, no, I just lose to Comet. Oh my god. This game was winnable if we went the reanimation route over the Dark Depths route. That's unfortunate. Alright, yeah, it doesn't matter. 4 or 5 kills us either way that we play it with Dark Depths there. Gross. And when we saw nothing in hand, we're like, okay, they need to hit. They had to hit each of those turns to survive, and they did. Hit straight gas on each draw. So that's tragic, but again, it was winnable if we went for the Atraxa reanimation route instead of going for the Dark Depths. So that's on us. We had to go survival of the fittest there. Which feels like it takes longer, but because we have to play both stage and depths and then get rid of summoning sickness, it actually takes just as long to get the 2020 out as get the Atraxa out. And if we got the Atraxa out instead, we would have gained the life and drawn a million cards and definitely not lost. Oh well. That's such a bummer though. Could have won that game. Well, now we know what we're playing against. We can play Cut Down, we can play Dam. I don't think I have enough white fixing to go for... I mean, I could play Razorverge Thicket over a Forest. And then on occasion, it's possible I have Triome and Thicket out. It's unlikely, but possible because Hierarch and Caryatid also had white. So it's possible that we do get Wrath. We get Damnation out of Dam. So we play those. And... cut some slightly slower stuff. I could cut the Dark Depths package. This feels like a good Inquisition matchup, but it played real awkward there. Yeah, it should be a good Inquisition matchup in theory. Feels like a good Wishclaw Talisman matchup. Well, they could find their last bit of burn. We will be under a lot of pressure. Okay, that might be fine. Yeah, like Overlord, sure. Do that. Game number 2 of the final round. We gotta draw something here, obviously. I'm gonna Inquisition on one without anything to ramp Hierarch into, or Hierarch into. 1 mana 2/1, 1 mana 1/2 that draws a card, 2 mana kill my mana dork, multiple creatures, 3 power creature. This looks very, very bad for me. Just get rid of the most aggressive creature. I mean, Bone Crusher will kill my mana dork and get a 4/3 on the board, but like they have so many other things to do at 3 mana anyway. They only have the 1/2/1 to start with. This is their only 2-drop, right? They go 2/1 and then a 1/2 for the first 2 turns if I get rid of Bone Crusher. This is just a nightmare opening hand to see. Get rid of the 1 mana 2/1. Thraben Inspector. There's the Emperor. Now we just need to find a way to get a creature in grave. Yep, Stomp the Hierarch is fine. That's one less stomp for the Emperor. There's Dark Depths if we find a way to crack it. Okay, well... one piece from the combo in many ways. Maybe I am supposed to run this out. Yeah, if they don't have removal, it keeps a little bit of damage off of us. We need to stop all the damage we can. I should have played it pre-combat if I do end up deciding to play it, obviously. Oh my god, I'm glad I played it. Oh my god, I'm glad I played it. It's a very bad idea to entomb Hex Mage. Because yes, I could do that and then get Merit Lage, but then they flicker with Merit Lage. So I need to entomb somebody that I'm just getting great value off the attack immediately. So Atraxa or the one that makes them discard. I'm out of spells if I don't Atraxa here. I kind of want to Atraxa so I can draw into more stuff. But I still draw into 2 cards off Archon, and I get rid of 2 of their threats. I feel like it's Archon over Atraxa. I think Atraxa's like better over the course of several turns, for sure. But immediate impact, Archon's pretty comparable and actually better here. Because it's four cards of card advantage, right? They discard 2, we draw 2. Oh yeah, and we kill both their creatures. Archon's definitely... Why do I always forget we kill their creatures? Archon's clearly better if we're killing both the threats here. They go to 1, in fact? If it wasn't clear that I had no idea what I'm doing, that should make it pretty clear. Okay, Comet. Okay. Double Squirrel. Double Squirrels, 4 1/1s. All haste. Yeah. Make them discard Flicker Wisp? Jesus Christ, Comet's at 10 loyalty? For face damage? I think this is Liliana and each player discards a card. Over go for the throat, 1 squirrel and still not lethal them.
When I win, you're telling me what you know of you.
Premise is 8 versus the 7 for Tyrant, so we're more likely to actually hardcast Tyrant, even if it is unlikely. That exile probably doesn't matter, but maybe. Oh my god. 10 damage to any target. There goes Emperor. Draw a card off the clue. Ragavan getting dashed in to kill Liliana. Sure.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Doesn't do anything. I mean, I kill Ragavan and then get to save go for the throat for something else, but Comet's just gonna kill us here. Our outs are like Crop Rotation, Vampire Hex Mage here. Kill them with a 20/20. But that was not the draw. That does make Survival of the Fittest also an out, because that would let us discard the Tyrant to pick up the Hex Mage. Gonna die to Comet each game. Got them to 1, dude. This card's insane. I can't believe they put Unfinity cards on the cube, too. Ah, good grief. Let's do 4, go to 9, take 5, 3, swing, kill, whether or not I go for throat. I could go for the throat, take 3, go to 10. They have 4 power. Still 2 swings would be... No, I guess if I go for the throat, it takes 3 turns. But if they just top deck any other creature, it's better to hold the go for the throat than kill a 1/1. But I guess they're not drawing the other creatures. Oh my god. I guess now there are like basically 0 bad draws in the deck, but we're dead to a lot of different Comet rolls now. We are 1 life away from dead to that roll. Don't think I have outs after this. But yeah, like even lands get Tyrant now. Trample. They have no interaction we get there. We have to pick up... We have to pick up Emperor because we need haste. Wait, let's check their graveyard. They have no direct-to-face damage in their grave. So we have to pick Emperor so that I can get haste. Move to combat for the trigger. Pick the Giant Trampler. Activate Hasty Giant Trampler. Blow up Comet if it doesn't damage them somehow. Hasty Giant Trampler is here. Lethal with trample damage. One and one. But as we said when we got into this round, we are on the draw for 2 of these games. We're going to be on the draw in game 3. We would have lost that game if we were on the draw, because we were a turn from dead there. Oh, this is terrifying. I like this, the way we sided it. Get the cut down in there. Run it back and pray. Scoo's also, again, might be reasonable, but not sure what to cut for it. Maybe one of the big cards. We did clump a little there. Too bad. Here we are on the draw for the final game of Magic of this draft. We have Survival of the Fittest plus Death to reanimate any big creature that we top deck. We can Inquisition one of their early threats, and we have half of the Dark Depths combo with Crop Rotation, which turns into the entire combo off of any creature that we draw, because we can turn any creature we draw into a Vampire Hex Mage. So this is a definite keep here, but they start with turn 1 Ragavan on the play. They have Bolt, Mana Crypt, no White Source. No White Source, and Mana Crypt is only colorless. I think we still get rid of Mana Crypts, because then if they don't draw land, they're casting nothing but Lightning Bolts? Well, no, Ragavan is the treasure tokens. Ay, ay, ay. It's gotta be Mana Crypt then, right? They hit us with Ragavan, get a treasure, Mana Crypt into Lingering Souls. Just dumping so much out with Mana Crypt. Because the multiple tokens, the Esper Sentinel. We hate to see that. really do that. Looks pretty hard to beat. On the draw here. First exile's a swamp from our deck, so they just get the treasure, but the treasure's already really good for that hand. Really needed cut down in the opener over Inquisition. This was a cut down opener on Ragavan, it'd be like a definite win. And then they top decked another treasure producer. That was the draw. Man. You hate to see it. Go for the throat, the Ragavan. Ragavan is literally just better Magda here. Magda gets the treasures whenever tapped, period. Ragavan has to damage us, but we don't have blockers, so Ragavan is going to damage us. So go for the throat on Ragavan to have their treasures. It's such a shame because it's like we found the removal to stop the treasures so they couldn't play any more white spells, but they found the second treasure producer. There's Carry Zev, which makes Ragavan monkeys. We are not using Boseiju. That is for sure. We needed to draw any creature in the whole deck here, and then we could have survivaled into one of our combos. But without a creature in this hand, we can't set up Life or Death. We can't set up Dark Depths. We instead just play Restless College, put the survival out, and pass. Yeah, life is sorcery speed, so I can't even like make 1/1s to trade into Magda. So just Cottage, survival, pass. So much damage. Go to 11. Come on, any creature. Fingers crossed, just give me any creature in the deck. Literally anyone. Okay, we take that. I need immediate life gain, I think. Could Primus their mountain, but I think I need to life gain on ETB. I think I need to go Vaultborn or Archon. Their hand can't deal with Atraxa, but they could attack with this, get a Plains, and deal with Atraxa. And if I choose Atraxa, I'm losing 7. I'm really close to dead to Lightning Bolt. If I do that, I take 7 but gain 3 off this. Take 7, gain 3 is take 4. I'm at 7 life with 1 blocker. Block there, take 1, 2, 3, 4. That's exact dead to Lightning Bolts. Oh, man. I'm dead to Lightning Bolt either way, I think. Maybe not dead to Lightning Bolt with Atraxa. I'm dead to Timer. I'm dead to Timer! I'm dead to Timer! Oh! Well, I probably die either way. That's a shame. That's a fitting end, though. So, like, if I Vaultborn Tyranted there, I block 1 creature, I take 4. I would have taken, like, 4 off of the reanimation. I can't reanimate anything with death now because I timed out. Lightning Bolt stops Emperor, so I lose this either way. Because I timed out. But I mean, we make them target Emperor, I guess. Which is cute. If they bolt the Emperor, I can now death something that's 4. She can get 6, but then die. It's really frustrating because the game is still going on right now, so I can't like explain how why I couldn't have done Tyrant because I have to keep playing the video game. So I needed to hit Atraxa there, which I figured out at the last possible moment, like literally a millisecond too late. Because if I win for Atraxa, I'm at 11 minus 7. So I'm at 4. They can bolt me to 1, but I have a 7 power lifelinking blocker, so they can't kill me. Because if carries have attacks, they get a non-menacing monkey. So I block the monkey and gain 7, so they can't even like menace kill me. I could have probably won this game if I didn't time out going for Atraxa, but I couldn't go for Vaultborn Tyrant. Because Vaultborn Tyrant goes like pay 7. So I go from 11 to 4, gain 3, go back to 7, but I'm at 7 with 1 blocker up. I could have blocked the monkey and taken 4 from everybody else, which puts me to 3, and then at 3 they bolt me and finish me off. So I had to choose Atraxa there, and I probably could have won off of hitting the Atraxa, judging by how they drew. Just really frustrating. I was like a millisecond off, but I had to do all of the math with like 7 plus or minus 3. I had to look through the deck and see the other one, the Archon there. Man. That was a bummer and a half. We couldn't have done Emperor because they could have bolted Emperor. So it had to be survival towards Atraxa, death back Atraxa. I can survive at exactly 1. And then from there, I can win the game off the lifelink swings, as well as the massive card draw. 100% winnable match. 100% winnable. The only reason that this deck didn't 3-0 was a lack of experience with the cards, which is so frustrating, because that means like the draft itself went incredible. I think we got a really, really well drafted deck here. Really lucky deck as well, in terms of how open it was. I'm pretty happy with the deck build as well. It's just the gameplay, just getting those numbers down faster. I was like a millisecond from winning this final game, and we could have won game 1 as well, I believe, if we played that better. So disappointing. Man. Well, the one really nice thing about this is that this was a super, super fun deck, and it did go to show me that I am capable of drafting some of the slightly more synergy-oriented, slightly more complex strategies. Just not super capable of playing them yet. Survival of the Fittest, a very hard card to play correctly because you have to think of what the best creatures in your entire deck at all times with the filtering and going through, so it's really easy to rope out of a turn like that. Super depressing ending there. We should have won that watch. Sorry, we should have won that match. We could have won that match, but I just played too slow. And I went for the wrong win condition in the first game. If we went for a lifelinking finisher like a Traxa instead of going for the Dark Depths finisher, we could have won the first game as well. We lost that one because we went for Merit Lage. Rough ending, but again, beautiful deck here. Very fun draft. Really cool pile of cards, and it makes me a little more confident in my drafting ability for the future. We can do some of the cooler, more unique archetypes than just trying to force mono red or Boros or anything like that. We pulled off a really, really powerful Reanimator deck that was more than capable of the 3-0 full trophy run. I just was not quite capable of piloting it yet, but with this experience under my belts, I feel like if we drafted this same deck again, I could probably 3-0 with it next time. But it's Cube, you're never going to draft the exact same deck again, so we'll probably end up with like a slightly weaker version of Reanimator that can't quite get there. But one can hope. This version was really cool. Having multiple different ways to combo kill was nice too. We got a kill or two off Merit Lage, which was fun. Really sick deck, really sick draft, but unfortunately, that is the end there. That is going to do it for us today, and that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in the recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.